dollar, yet my dollar never doubled. Maybe a quote blessing will come cross-stitched in the duffel. I'm too dense for any company, ain't nothing but salt in these thought bubbles. Drown out all the fish in the sea, I'm too short-sighted, viewing every relationship as one-sided. Often it was I who divided sacrifices and compromises. Obviously, the knife's grown dull, so much so it doesn't separate the casing from the wires. But as luck would have it, the princess has been freed from the spire. Guess who claims squatters' rights to a new hideaway? While I might pray for him to aid to his better Nehemiah. To piece together this temple, I'm too temporal, relation on the down slope of my bell curve. I don't simply drop gems, I get fitted for the ring first. So when I'm actually called upon, it'll be as a ringer. And if that labor law dropped the bar, it wouldn't lead to my knee on your neck for engagement. Breaking the fourth wall, separate the truth and verbatim. I'm right, fine, a fine line comparing RoboCop and Terminator. The reason why, I'll have to tell you later. I'll have to tell you later. You see, I was plotting on the future is now. I was plotting on the future is now. I was plotting on the future is now. Aeromos type the .exe for 85X'es, the strike like barbed wire to the flesh. Drew the hypodermic needle to draw the ink and wrote the calligraphy. Poetry that advertises violence and misery as a means to collect ties to the ministry. Wrote the line in the sand that was quoted throughout history, only to break the boundary, bound in heat in order to cling to a throne. It seems it could all be imagery, hyperbole, to pretend the simple things with elevating. Fossilized in Silicon Valley, Aeromos to be preserved, to make sure the spirit of the venture is future-proofed into memory banks and computer chips to attempt to substitute its lack of humanity. He's fed the data that was artistic influences. The results were less than impressive, but why go through the measures? Well, what else are you supposed to do when the overtures don't overturn the stresses and requisites to live? But still, the reference point is poured into the shell till simulated sentience was instilled. The machine flipped to the alphabet, to the characters, forms, and structures, fragmented for emphasis, matching syllables. No sooner it was equipped to turn a phrase, word flipped to summary. Verbally, it was somersault and battery, wounded egos, the hometown heroes and woo Gambinos. All the while trying to triangulate the greatest story ever told, beginning with rags to riches. Any monetary value attributed was bookended between sub or beyond human. Pennies for the thought, reign of the creator, who is no less of a consumer in the plot's nature. As soon as the rest of the venture, the quest augmented, and its many layers of the showcase of the primitive prefix that kneecaps Homo sapien, the divvy of tapping into infinity rather than imagination. Born the English language down to numerical equations, rhyme schemes are simply variables to be played with to make sense of it. If the word itself is substance, once it's under your skin, bet you feel something. And if my opposition's infected, that's patient zero. Verbal combat is the ultimate resort of my soul mechanic. Transmission of illness is my voyage, and if I throw shots, it's return of the Mac, how Mark Morrison voiced it. Still arrow toyed with the elaborate annoyed, it can strike an artery but not a heart chord. Never satisfied with the niche where this supposed holdover was sitting, cause he seen where the envelope was pushed to the brink of. The obsession led to a comedy of failures that undefined. The undefined that might have underlined his record. Years were forfeited, bridges eroded into communication being limited to conducting business. Discussion was denial, burned at both ends, cause the watchful lies of the project were succumbing to blurred vision. A man with as many hats only secures exposure to mercury. Retrograde, same as the modern day. Tragedy by 1,000 paper cuts, expiration date written in blood. Any chance of rebirth and resurrection is how his voice mimicked. Still echoes at the keynote, which left the monster overcome, an obstacle rubbing up against his lack of conscience, making 85X'es the silhouette of some underdog's obsession.